Hi. So I've got an inquiry in email. You can see the email on my channel there, YouTube at craigcammon.com. And first time home buyer had a question on buying a house out of state. I'm not licensed in the state. Made a few recommendations on different loans to look into, talking to a mortgage broker, and then trying to find a good referral for a realtor to work with. And then I got a reply back. And this is kind of, and I understand where he's coming from, but I just wanted to clarify a few things. So, is there any specific types of properties, neighborhoods you would recommend for a first time home buyer? And, that's a great question. And then number two, which I wanted to focus more on, is do you have any tips for negotiating with lenders or realtors to get the best possible deal? So let me first tackle neighborhoods and types of properties for first-time home buyers. But the second one, I do want to clarify, and I think there's been a lot of media and press that has distorted the relationship there. But the first thing for a first-time home buyer is going to be getting that pre-approval, what you can afford on a monthly payment, figuring out what you can come up with for a down payment, and different first-time home buyer programs out there. And then you have to start looking in the areas that you will qualify for and what the best value is going to bring for your money. Oftentimes, people will recommend like buying a duplex or a triplex and using the rent to kind of help with the monthly payment. If that works in your market, I think that's a great idea. That doesn't work in every market. Some of these properties are overpriced. Some of them you don't really gain that much of a savings if they're overpriced. And then some of them are in neighborhoods you don't want to be in. But if you can find one and use those rents and it actually makes your housing cheaper, then yeah, that's a great way to do it. The other method that's very popular right now, getting roommates. It's the new term is called house hacking. That was never what we called it back in my day. We just called it getting roommates and, trying to live as cheap as we could. I had a friend that created a little apartment in his basement, and then he had renters upstairs, and that was a way he could live for very cost effective. So those are the kind of the things you want to do. Usually you'll find opportunities in kind of the inner suburbs or inner city. I think the inner cities have gotten kind of expensive or kind of dangerous. So one or two or both. So it depends where you're at there. So you look for those deals, and usually they're going to be an older person selling it, so a lack of updates. So you're going to have to do some painting, cosmetics, carpet, and we call that building sweat equity. And don't be afraid to pick up a paintbrush. Don't be afraid to learn the work. YouTube is a great place to learn how to do these projects. And then I want to touch on getting with that mortgage broker and the realtor. The question is tips on how to negotiate with them. You're not building a competitive situation with your realtor or with your mortgage broker. You are building a team to get you the best deal you can with the other team. The other team is going to be the seller's agent and the seller. So you need to find a mortgage broker that you know and like, or that you like and can do the job for you. And then you're going to have to find a realtor that you trust, because these two are going to guide you on your journey, and these are going to be a long-term relationship that you're going to establish. And if you go into a relationship on how to negotiate the best deal you can against them, you're not creating a very good relationship. So you're going to expect these people to have your back. You're going to have their back to get the best deal. So find those referrals, ask friends and family who they would recommend, and go talk to them, go interview them, and then go sit down, with the mortgage broker and kind of have them run some numbers and do the background check. Unfortunately, the rules have changed. When you first meet with a realtor, you're probably going to be having to sign paperwork. And this is not anything that the brokers have done. There was a lawsuit, and that lawsuit is trying to, on the surface, it's trying to make things more transparent. What it does is, unfortunately, it convolutes things a little bit. So just understand that you're going to be faced with some paper, that there's going to be what they call a showing agreement. And that showing agreement is not a compensation field. In that showing agreement, that you are going to be asked to pay for showings. So what's happened is the buyers, how you pay your agent used to be in the purchase price of the home. So if you bought the home for 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever that number is, the seller was going to pay a 5, 6, 7% commission, and half of that was going to be built in for the buyer's agent. So now what's happening is, because the buyer never negotiated that commission was negotiated between the seller and the seller's agent, and the seller's agent negotiated what the buyer's agent would get paid. And then the buyer's agent was just whatever that was willing to happen was what they were going to get paid. So now the DOJ, Department of Justice, has been trying to break that. So the settlement agreement is trying to remove that commission. Right now, most of the sellers are going to be paying that commission for the buyer. And now, did the seller really pay it? No. When you buy the property, it's in the house. It's in the price of the house. It's all wrapped into your mortgage when you buy it. So what's happening is that's trying to get broken out a little bit. So now you have to sign a showing agreement. And in that showing agreement, it's going to say, okay, to show this house, I'm going to charge you whatever, $100, $200, $300 to go look at this house. Or I'm going to do a flat fee. That's the only charge that you'll see in there. And then if you do agree to sign like a representation agreement, that's where you agree to pay your agent. So that's new, and the agents are fumbling around with it because it's new territory. We never had to do that before. So the costs haven't gone down. They're just getting shifted around on the ledger. It's created a lot of friction in the market right now until we figure out how to operate it. But I do understand that you will be faced with that paperwork, and don't get too scared on it, because it's just the one house. So if you buy that house, you don't have to agree to pay for that showing. You can see if the agent's willing to show one house, and then if that goes well and you like the agent, then you can go into a representation agreement. But days of just having agents show you houses at no charge are over. People need to get paid for their work, and the way they used to get paid was, if you did end up buying the house, they would get the commission. That's no longer the case. They need the paperwork signed to even show the house, and if they don't have that paperwork signed, they'll get in my market, we'll get a $2,000 fine for showing a house without that showing agreement signed. So they're not taking it lightly. So understand that when you go in there, you're not negotiating with your agent. You're trying to find an agent to represent you. You're trying to find the mortgage broker to represent you. You're building your team. And you're going to have to trust these people, and you're going to have to like them. And you don't build relationships on trying to negotiate on price. If you're trying to meet new friends, you don't try to take advantage of them. So understand that you're building that team. And then where you do the negotiations is on the seller side when you offer the price. And then that's when you have your agent negotiate their commission. So you can negotiate in the sales price. It's just not automatically put there. So if you do end up out negotiating your agent right away, you probably don't have the best agent to represent you, because if they cave in on just your showing or your commission right out of the gate, how well are they going to negotiate your price when you have them go in and try to negotiate for you? So those are just kind of some thoughts that threw up a little bit of a red flag. I will do another video here later. I've got to get to some projects today on showing you that showing agreement, that buyer rep agreement, on what you're going to be faced with in the new model that's coming out. And this is going to evolve, as there's a lot of pitfalls in this, and there's a lot of things that the industry is going to learn as this goes forward. But we have the first set of them that came out, and I can kind of show you what you'll likely be faced with. I know you're not in my market, but different markets will have different versions of this, but they're all going to be very similar. So I hope this helps. I'm just a little bit on of a rant. I thought it'd be easier to post a video than try to do an email on that. But yeah, keep shooting in the emails with questions. I'm glad to help out wherever I can. And if I see something worthy, I'll try to do a quick video on it too. Otherwise, I'll just answer in the email if it's confidential, and keep your name off of it too. So, and that's all I got. Hope you have a great afternoon, and I will be checking in more this weekend. So talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.